Rudolph, like the reindeer, and then it's Piskule. I'm a resident of Waters Edge subdivision, homeowner for 7 years. My understanding is it's going to be the interchange is going to be on the south side of the pipeline and the high tension lines. That's going to affect 44 homes. Just simple math here, people have been throwing big numbers around. It's about 8.8 million. If the wildlife refuge needs more land, we could probably save it by putting it on the north side. Take the 8 million, approximately, maybe 9, and buy 4 acres for $2 million an acre to supplement that change. It's a personal view why move 44 people. I know there's a lot of other people involved in Wilmington, and I appreciate that. It's a beautiful place that they have. But mine's is just a nuts and bolts. Why move 44 people for 8.8 million when you can buy 4 acres for that same amount of money and put the interchange on the north side of the high tension line and the pipeline that went through under Peotone, well, it's under the North River Road and 53 intersection. Thank you.
Tony Keslick is up on deck. Ron?
My name is Ron Pincek, P as in Peter, I-E-N-C-A-K. My question is, and I haven't heard anything too much about it, is when they would take my house, if they would take my house. Being our age, being retired, is IDOT going to help me get a mortgage? I mean, not working anymore, they would have a hard time giving us a mortgage. So I'd like an answer to that. And then also, supposedly we're only going to have 30 days or so to close. How do we manage to do that when they don't even close now on a regular house in 30 days? Thank you.
Okay, next up on deck is Kim and Tony Keslick. Brian?
Good evening. My name is Brian Swanson at 1022 East Kentucky Road in Beecher. My mother's property is along the B3 corridor, and as a city planner for the city of Countryside, at times I can think very generally about things. However, I do believe in this instance the specific point of this road is kind of being overlooked by the economic impact of the region. I'm curious as to how the environmental impact of the region will change. Growing up in a very rural area, I've had the opportunity to wake up and have all sorts of wildlife in my backyard, essentially. And this will all change with this proposed road. And I would like the opportunity from someone from INDOT or IDOT to actually come to my property and see the beauty and the grandeur of living in a rural area in which many people in unincorporated Will County have either grown up with or have moved to because of that pristine wildlife. And I'm curious as to what the total costs would be for this road. I do believe that truckers, they try to minimize as much cost as they can while traveling. And if this is a $10 or $15 toll, will truck drivers actually use this route, or will they still bypass it? As a planner, I've grown to love Beecher. I have an aspiration to possibly have beehives on my property. And I'm curious, as a small business owner, through agricultural means, how will I be impacted? What will happen to the economic investment I make into beehives? Will that be destroyed? How will I be impacted as a small business owner? And how will the traffic along Indiana Avenue be impacted in Beecher, as well as the Native American Indian community been contacted in regards to any sort of sacred lands along this route? And what about the crime impact? will interchanges, increase crime. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Debbie Piepenbrink, P-I-E-P-E-N-B-R-I-N-K. I live in Goodenow. It consists of a tiny town with 29 houses, and we have lived with the garbage dump and their empty premises. It was supposed to be a beautiful park or a ski slope by now, and it's not. Then we have lived with the threat of the airport for 40 years, which property has been bought, homes destroyed, and now those properties sit vacant also. Then in the last few years, we have had to deal with Centerpoint Properties buying up land surrounding our small community, and once again, the promises. They said, oh, we'll leave you in that little town, we'll build around you. We have a garbage dump on one side and 3 berms on the other side. Who really wants to live like that? Now the proposed Illiana Expressway coming through our neighborhood. So we have concerns about our homes being taken when the property values are down. But if we are forced to leave, I'm concerned that IDOT will purchase the land while the properties are down, and then once again, homes destroyed and the land sits vacant again for years. And maybe the property would have gone up. And unfortunately, we live in a small community with no voices, no mayor, or no board to speak for us. I fear that my 29 neighbors and I personally, I don't want to be forced from my home, and I don't want to live that close to an expressway, airport, or intermodal, because we're right smack in the middle of all of them. But I'm very concerned about the properties being bought and the time frame that this is going to be done also. Is it going to be another 10 years where the properties have gone up before the 51-mile expressway gets to the building area where we're at? So I've got concerns about that. And Ron mentioned earlier, there's a lot of senior citizens. My parents' home's involved in this. My brothers and Beach are involved in this. Are we going to get a decent price? How are my parents going to get a mortgage at 78 years old? So